Number 22 offense. Tungo Vailoa, H.N. up the middle. And brought down. Dorian Williams gets him. He's their leading tackler. 3rd and 11 for Tungo Vailoa. Armstead the block. And down the middle, it's dropped incomplete. Looking for Hill. Coverage by the veteran Rasul Douglas. 3rd down 5. Johnson was the back. And it's caught by Shakir. Wrapped up by Walker. Ty Johnson the back. 3rd down and 3. Allen. Oh, he can't get by Ogba. Playing with a torn bicep. Here is kicker Tyler Bass. 40-yard field goal try. 9 of 9 in that category this year. 10 of 10. The Dolphins hold him out of the end zone. Mostert is back in there as the running back. 3rd down and 11. It's Mostert. Jonnu Smith with a block and goes bowling his way up to the 46. Hit there by Elam. Picks up 16 on 3rd and 11. Nice play by the Dolphins. H.N. in the backfield. 2 into the air. H.N. the catch. Drilled right there by Dorian Williams. 2 is at 6 different receivers. Mostert here. Clogged and down. Taylor Rapp. And does just that with 1:19 to play in the first. With the 1st and 10, Davis the call. Big hole. Walker jumps on his back and brings him down after the gain of 8. Cook back in. 2nd down 5. Fake to Cook. Dawkins a block. Allen on the move. Pump faking multiple times. Kincaid with Cook back there. 2nd down 8. Play action. This is Shakir, who is grabbed on the play by Brooks.
How he's been better at playing this position.
Cook on 1st and 10. Finds a gap. Up the middle he goes. Riding him down. Kendall Fuller. Bobbled. Intercepted. Picked off. Ramsey got it. Coleman couldn't hold on. And Miami stops the Bills in their tracks. Mostert again. Ingle with a nice block inside. He's tackled by Rapp. Maybe still not 100%. He did have a couple touchdowns last week. 1st and 10. It's Mostert, who got a block on the edge by Waddle. And that opened up the door before he was chased out by Epinesa. Tungo Vailoa, shuffle pass. This goes to Jonnu Smith and around his ankles. H.N. easily the 1st down, following blocking and into the secondary. Hamlin will wrap him up after a gain of 10. Mel on 3rd and 1. 1st down for Miami. 2nd down 4. H.N. the back. They check down and go to him. Johnson's got a beat on him and knocks him out of bounds, but not after he gets.
How about the job of this offensive line running the football, especially on this series? Doing extremely well.
1st and 10. Big hole into the secondary going again.
They talked about last week settling for field goals instead of touchdowns a couple of times. Wasn't good enough.
H.N. the back. He gets the call. He'll go inside. With his speed, he'll outrace him for 6. Tavon H.N. 14-yard touchdown, catch and run. And Miami is taking a lead for the first time today.
Brewer, the center, watch as he gets out into space. He's going to be coming out here. He's supposed to be lead blocking after releases. But H.N. just goes, nope, I'm going in front of you because I got the angle.
Dawson Knox. Josh Allen. That's Kincaid. Bills 2 timeouts. Samuel in motion. And caught by Hollins. Tithing to the 22. Allen off the edge. Brown the push. Allen on the move. Campbell chasing. Blocked downfield by Kincaid. He's run for a 1st down. Back is Johnson. 3-man rush. And that was deflected. It's incomplete. Or did it just slip out of his hand?
No, he just was throwing it away. And then the holding call there, bringing the Josh Allen touchdown run back.
Bass only 3 of 6 from this distance. But he nails that baby. Have not had a 100-yard rusher all season. 2nd and 3, first down toss. Mostert on the run, hit by Rapp and out of bounds he goes. He's got great speed. He was a former track.
They've done a good job with protection and also with the running game and what they've been able to do. We've shown the numbers.
Smythe the block, Mostert the run, Ingold the ball. And he almost he did fumble the ball. Buffalo's got it. Bills have vacuumed it in. Elam. Mostert the fumble. Big hole. Johnson, big hole, look at him, sprint, tackled by Poyer.
It's a cohesive unit that has started every game together.
2nd down 4, Shakir, Dawkins a block, slippery, taking him on his back, brought down by Fuller. 4th and goal, Shakir on the move, Allen to the air. Caught, touchdown, Mac Hollins, and he beat Kendall Fuller. And Buffalo has recaptured the lead.
Mac is on the backside here. He's coming across. Watch underneath is Keon Coleman. You come off the play fake, and you're looking for that mesh, and which guy is going to be able to get there for the touchdown.
For one more point, and let's see. No good. He missed it. H.N. the back. Tua through the air, 16 of 24. The fake. Jackson a block at the right tackle, and he's got his receiver near midfield, 45-yard line, Jonnu Smith. On the ground, 2nd and 6 for Tagovailoa, going deep. Oh, he's got Hill! The catch at the 10. Worked on Elam. It's 1st and goal to go. See where they mark it out. No at the 12. 3rd and 7. Emptying the backfield. Tua. Jonnu Smith slicing, upended, nice hit, flag, Bernard the tackle. Miami has not won here since 2016. They're trying to take a late 3rd quarter lead. And they do on a 23-yarder, drilled in by Jason Sanders. Allen out of the backfield. Davis, room to roam. Oh, he got by Fuller. He broke a tackle in there by Fuller, and he's off to the races. And a 63-yard touchdown catch and run. And the Bills have recaptured the lead.
Perfect execution. They catch the Dolphins in a blitz, which puts them in man-to-man coverage, and they lose track of who has Davis coming out of the backfield, gets caught up in the wash, and once they realize it, it's too late.
Marcus May had a good shot at him and couldn't get him. 2 straight touchdowns. Now for 2. Allen got it. Coleman. And Buffalo leads by 7. Got him. That's Hill in a nest of defenders, and out of bounds. He's taken by Hamlin.
Missed opportunity for the Bills.
H.N. in 1st and 10. Look, here goes Jonnu Smith. Room to roam. And goes crashing into a couple defenders. H.N. the back. Alec Ingold in motion. H.N. Hole! Touchdown! Another touchdown for H.N. 8-yard touchdown run. That offensive line opens the door, and he goes through. What a drive.
Great job. We just got done talking about Jonnu Smith's receiving game, but it was his blocking on that play. He's at the point of the attack. He kicks out Johnson.
Jackson with a nice block.
with the seal to the inside.
1st and 10 at the 30. Cook the back, and he gets the throw by the quarterback, Allen. That's a pizza per guy. Good stuff, Mel. 1st and 10. Allen rolling and with time. And he's got Coleman, the rookie out of Florida State, wrapped up by Marcus May. And Shakir in motion. 1st and 10. He gets the call. Slippery. Look at him drive. Look at him run. Breaking tackles. And Davis the back.
Yep, an extra offensive lineman as well.
Anderson. Allen. Chased. Hit. The call. Touchdown. Morris. Quentin Morris has caught the touchdown.
He wanted to get to the outside. Watch, he's going to be looking to the corner. He wants to get to the outside to Knox. He steps up in the pocket, and he just flips that ball up to Morris. How he knows Morris is even looking at him, I don't know, as he takes a shot.
He's been outstanding protecting the football. 3 timeouts. Achane swerving, breaking, and met by Hamlin in the secondary, but not after before the run of 11. 3 timeouts, down by a score. Tungo Vailoa right on the screws, caught at midfield by Hill. Achane the back and now on the move. And the call. Block, Armstead, tackle, Epinesa.
Bills are going man-to-man here, though, bringing some pressure.
They're going to bring 5 on 3rd and 7. Caught! Waddle! What a throw! Tungo Vailoa, the pump fake. They'll go outside to Achane with great speed. He gets by Johnson, and he's hit by Hamlin. And he's got a 1st and goal for the Miami Dolphins. The clock at 1:52, out of bounds he goes. Tungo Vailoa, 23 of 26. Armstead the block. The time. He looks, throws, caught, touchdown! Waddle! Jalen Waddle has caught a 7-yard touchdown pass. 4 lead changes. Watch the touchdown again.
Waddle's on the outside. Tyreek Hill's going to take this up. I thought they were going to go to the corner and Tyreek Hill, but instead Tua steps up in the pocket. Williams comes up to make the hit, and Waddle just keeps working with him, getting into his vision.
What a nice throw. I mean, led him well.
Yes.
Wow.
And what about Waddle? Just a couple plays ago, he thought his season was done after getting kicked in the back of the leg. He wasn't sure what the injury was. Down on the field.
Allen, the rushing 4. He's going deep for Coleman. And broken up, flag thrown. Cam Smith was back there.
Keep the Bills from getting into field goal territory.
Ty Johnson the back, 2nd and 10. Nice catch, Hollins. He got a touchdown reception earlier. The clock is running. Cam Smith the hit. Gain of 7. 3rd down 10. It's Josh Allen. Great time. They don't rush anybody. And it is incomplete for Kincaid. Wind is subsided. 61-yard try for the lead. It is. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. He's got it.
It's based on his day. They had that confidence in him, and he kicks this one out of the end zone. 5 seconds to go. Russo on the other edge.
Tua underneath. Achane. He'll flip it, and it goes back to Waddle. And Waddle is chased by Russo, and he's back near his 6 and down. Buffalo has won it.